This is Matthew J. Peters, the CEO of Ascend Media, and tonight we're going to be talking about rebranding and cleaning house. So I know a lot of people want to rebrand or they want to build a brand. Anytime you're building a brand, you're rebranding because you have this thing called a platform. People want to build their platform, right? They want to expand out there. Well, guess what? You already have a platform. What is your platform? First of all, your platform is your reputation. If you don't have a strong foundation of having a reputation of people trusting you, people looking up to you, people desiring to work with you, you're going to have a hard time building a business off of a broken reputation. Reach. Your platform is really also your reach. So if I want to publish a book, the first time I wanted to publish a book, I went to a publisher. They said, "What's your platform?" And I had to have him tell me what that meant. He said, "Well, what's your reach? How many people do you have on Twitter following you? How many people do you have on your email list?" They didn't want to do the work of building my brand. They wanted to help me with how I was going to communicate to the people I already had access to. I don't know if you knew that or not, but a lot of publishers, they want to know what your platform is already. What's your reach? When you have a solid reputation, when you have an amazing reach of thousands of people on Facebook, thousands of people on Twitter and on Instagram, and you have interaction and engagement, and you have an email list of thousands of people, then more and more people are interested in working with you. That's where you have access. You have access to other people and their networks and their lists. So they're going to give you access to their stages, their microphones for their podcasts. They're going to give you access to their email lists. They will want to be a part of something that you're doing because you are growing and going somewhere. And I'm going to show you as you're building out your platform, it's not just your brand. I want to have new pictures and new graphics. This is really you're rebuilding you from the inside out, because if we put cool new pictures out there and you have new graphics of you and you're still the same person, it's not going to fly. I do not manufacture celebrity. I help people who are already an expert or an authority or they're proficient at something. I help them communicate who they truly are, not make up anything. So you need to prepare for your new brand. I grew up on a dairy farm in Wisconsin when I was a kid, and before we plant any corn or any alfalfa or anything like that, we would go through and till the soil. That means the soil is like this, and you take this thing called a disc, and the disc would actually turn the soil over. And when it turns the soil over, it would uproot weeds and things. But if you have some big weeds, you got to pull them out, get them out of there. It also overturns some rocks. And that's what we're going to do. We're preparing the soil of all your social media, your website, everything that is your platform out there right now. You need to actually take a look at it and see, is this what is out there representing where I am going? This new brand I'm building, it is not a Band-Aid to stick on top of something else that is broken. Before you ever announce a brand, you need to clean everything up. You need to clean house. So that means deleting things. Now, I'm not talking about the embarrassing photos when you were in college. I'm talking about when you have things that you've experimented with over the past. Let's say you're a life coach and then you also sold makeup, and then you were doing something with soap, and then you drove a taxi for a while. That stuff, it's for someone who wants to invest in you, let's say as a life coach 5 and 10 years later, that doesn't give you as much credibility if they see you were dabbling in a bunch of things. So like the first book I wrote was actually on personal finance and real estate. So I don't talk about that because that's not what I do now. That's how I learned what I do now, is marketing and such, through writing a book, getting my thoughts together so I can help people through short trainings. But deleting everything that is not where you're going, with one caveat. If I was a life coach today and I was a life coach 10 years ago and I sucked at it, guess what? I do not delete those posts, those videos, because I want people to see that over the years I stuck with something and I've grown. So my first YouTube videos are still out there. I can't even access the channel. That's how long ago it was. It was like 13, 14 years ago, maybe more than that. And so those I want out there because I was talking about video marketing. I have been in video for almost 25 years. I was in high school and I got my first video camera, so I don't mind having those things out there. I take pride in sticking with something that long. You can unpublish or unlist things. Those are those rocks that you find in the field. You don't like pulverize the rocks and turn them into dust. What you do is you take those rocks out of the field, because in the context of the field, those rocks are not going to help your vegetables or your corn or alfalfa grow. It's just going to get in the way. Get those out, set them off the side of the field, because in the right context, I could build a log cabin and I could use those on the outside facing the log cabin, or I could use those rocks for a fireplace, right? There's still a use for them. If you have some great trainings, it's just not necessarily what you're doing now. That may be good for another time. So don't just delete everything. You can unlist and unpublish things as well. Now, I've had people ask me in the past, I've got this group with 8,000 people in it, and I've done nothing with it in the last 6 months or a year, and they're asking me if they should delete it. You have access and reach into 8,000 people's lives who chose to be a part of a group. The fact that you're not doing anything with it right now, you could have a strategy around it to re-engage those people and bring value to why they first came in there, and start showing them how you've shaped and changed into what you're going to be offering, and help take them on that journey instead of just like crumpling it up and throwing it away saying next. Make sure you're not just burning all the ships to burn the ships. I want you to think about strategy, because some people just want to destroy everything in their past and start fresh. Just make sure you're not being destructive. You're actually focusing specifically on the things in your past that don't fit into your future. All right? Now, you've cleared the field. You've cleared out all your social media. You got rid of everything that doesn't belong into what happens in the future, what you're building. Now you have to embody your vision. So first of all, you have to have a vision. Where are we going with this? In 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, where am I going? That might be you've been in this business for 10 years, and in 15 years, I've exited, and it's no longer to be the Matthew Peters Video Academy. It's going to be Expert Video Empire Academy or something like that. So I take my name off of it. So I need to know what I'm building to, right? So that's my vision. So as the CEO, as the president, as the founder of my business and your business, you need to know where you're going, and you need to start communicating from the future. Now, I don't want you to think this is woo-woo. Think about it this way. I know where I'm going. The only way I'm going to get to that place is I need to more quickly embody the person who I need to become to be that person who has that business, that influence, that reach in the future. There's a big difference between fake it till you make it and acting as if. Acting takes action. So if you are acting, doing the actions as if you were that person in the future, you are going to more quickly reach that into the future. That future is going to come towards you. All right, this is part of futuring. I used to train it a long time ago with Yvonne Delafleur, and this is just a little teeny tiny piece of it. But when you begin speaking from the future, your communication brings that future closer to you, and people are like, oh, okay. Because if you're communicating from the past and the things you used to do, you're dragging that along with you. You don't want to drag anything from your past. You want to grab the best things. Like I do highlights of my past. There's stuff from my past I bring up. It's like, hey, this was an awesome turning point in my life. Here's the transformation that I had going through this, and I want you to also have that transformation. Or here's something where I screwed up. Here's how you can sidestep that, and you can learn from my mistake, right? Those are good things. But I want you to be focused more on the future and where you're going. And I just shared a video from David Bowie, and he says you want to play in that place where you're not quite comfortable. If you're comfortable and you're in the wrong place. He said, when you get into a swimming pool and you're right up to your nose in the water and you're going into the deep end and you just on your tiptoes and you have to like bounce just to breathe, he says that's where you want to be. That's the place where all your creation, your growth happens. So when you're speaking from the future, if you feel fake, but you're doing the actions that will help you get there, you're not being fake. You're actually having faith in what you are creating because you know the actions you're taking are going to get you there. Not faking it, saying you have all the success when you don't. Not faking your numbers, all that crap. All right, so begin speaking from the future. Reassess your offers and your fees. Think about, are the offers that you have right now, are they going to serve you into the future? Or do you want to reconstruct them? Do you want to offer them in a way that you're going to deliver them differently? Instead of one-to-ones, you're going to actually do one-to-many. You're going to be in a small group, a large group. You're going to be speaking out to people in a group once a month. How do you want to deliver that value, that transformation you bring, that magic that you have? How do you want to deliver it? I want you to think about that even when you're rebranding, because you want to know what that's going to look like. So when you are constructing your offers, you're not going to offer something that's going to take you off in a wrong path. I've done that, right? And so it's like, well, I started building this thing over here, and that's not really where I wanted to go, but that's what people said they wanted, and I changed who I was to do that thing. That's going to throw you off of your trajectory of where you need to go and where you need to focus on. And then your fees. I've had 2 conversations in the last 2 weeks with people who I heard them talk, and I listened to what they're offering, and they said they felt really good about an offer and the fee they were going to charge. I just listened, let them go through it, and I said, have you thought about this? And one person was like, no, I feel really good about this. And then as they started thinking about it, they realized it's like, actually, I could charge more. I could that. Let me think about that. And so they started seeing the value that you create, the value that you're asking for, the fees you're asking for is completely fictitious. If you believe that what you're offering is worth $100,000 or saving someone's life or their marriage or their relationship with their kids, and you know what you're asking for is a fraction of it, it'd be very easy for you to ask it. If you feel like, I don't want to charge too much because that's going to be more than what they're giving me in return of what I'm giving them, you're in the wrong spot. You need to think about, what transformation am I doing in their life with their help, of course, and their work. What transformation is happening in their life, and what is that worth to them? So I like to do 10 times. So if someone is going to pay me a certain amount of money, I want to give them at least 10 times the value. And I feel really good about that. So I don't have to give people discounts. I don't give discounts. I don't like that, because it just puts you in a place of being like the, Target sale or something like that. So reassess your offers and your fees. You cannot charge more than people recognize your worth. One of the ways that people recognize your worth is how they see you. Seeing is believing. So when they see you out there, does what you're communicating connect with what you're selling? If let's just say, if I sell a course on marriage and having a great marriage, and I'm a guy, and I go through all your social media, there isn't one picture of my wife in there, I'd be like, something's not right here. Seeing is believing. You cannot charge more than people recognize your worth. So think about, your brand has to coincide with the fees that you're charging. If I have you over to my office and I have a card table in an empty room with a couple chairs, and I say my program's $25,000, you'd be like, there's a disconnect here. Something doesn't smell right here, right? So this is where the visual has to match the verbal. So when we look at, I put this down here, elements in personal communication, 7% of how people take in what we're communicating is spoken, what I say, the words I say. So if I'm writing copy for your landing page, your sales video, 7%, you're losing a lot because people are just reading it, right? 38% is your voice and your tone, how I say it. And 55% is your body language or nonverbal. So where do you think, when I'm rebranding out there with photos and new videos and new social media posts and new graphics, where do you think that fits in? Do you think that fits in the 7%, the spoken, the 38%, the voice and tone, or the 55%, the body language and nonverbal communication? Your brand out there, outside of you, the person, the brand that is out there after you turn off the camera, that is the nonverbal. It's your image, right? And the image you create with your graphics, your color schemes, your fonts, all of those things have baggage. All those things have collateral from when I looked at Ralph Lauren images. I loved the feel of that. When I grabbed that and I said, I like this from Ralph Lauren. I like this from, what's the car? There's a car company that I really liked at the time, and I put the two of them together. Let's just say Rolls-Royce. I put Armani, Rolls-Royce, another one. I put those together, so it was unique. I'm pulling all the collateral from those other brands, so when people see it, that's what sparks in their mind, is not just Matthew, but all that baggage from all the millions or billions of dollars in advertisement they've already done. That's a little secret there. So you're verbal and visual. We help elite level coaches, consultants, and entrepreneurs expand their reach and elevate their online and offline presence, which is your platform, with minimal time and effort on their part. So the time you need to put in is not necessarily editing your videos and making social media posts. You need to be working on you, going deeper into your craft so you become better and better at the thing you do, so you become world class. That makes our job easier because there's nothing for us to manufacture. It's all real. We're just trying to clearly communicate the awesome person you are and the magic you bring into people's lives. The elite level is a choice of you going deeper into your thing. No one can outwork you if you keep on going towards being that elite person, being one of the top people in the world, the top 2, 5, 10 people in the world at what you do. You can do that if you just focused on it. Expanding your reach and elevating your online and offline presence. That elevation is what we do with your brand. You have a brand that's kind of all over the place. Your platform, people see you as hodgepodge. We bring it all together. So if you look at the background I have when I started the show, right? You saw it has the M, it has the Ascend Media logo. And the background, what were the colors of the background? It was the Blue Ridge Mountains. I love nature. Instead of having technology, I wanted to have a nature feel to it. It's big, it's expansive, it's beautiful. And with the lighting here, I have the same colored lights I do as in my logo, the background of my logo. So I'm tying things together. I'm elevating, literally the mountains elevating, right? Coming to a point. The program I have, elevation, bringing things up. Ascend Media, ascending, going up, right? You're working with us, we're bringing you up. Those things may be psychological that you're not seeing or taking in immediately, but they're all little pieces that come together. I hope this is serving you. If you want to go take everything and bring it to that elite level, we have branding packages. We also do video podcasting you can do from home, and I will help you by producing and directing you remotely. And we also do the full video packages where you can come in for a day and a half, and we do all of your social media, all your video production, all of your graphics, your podcasts, your magazine, and your book, all in a day and a half of your time. And you go and live your life, run your business the way you want to. You don't have to worry about any of your organic marketing. We take care of all of that for you. All right. Thanks so much for being on. Go ahead and schedule a call with me at ascendmedia.com, ASYND media.com/call. And Ascend is authority syndication, if you're wondering what that means. All right. Thanks so much for being on. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.